Hi, moving on from making jazz chords off the E, A and D chords and building it up that way. Today I'm going to show you how to make major seventh chords off every single string of the guitar. So we're going to create 6 major seventh chords, and they're all going to be C, just for convenience. So we're going to make 6 C major seventh chords so you can use them wherever you are, wherever you're playing. So first we need to know what the building blocks of C major 7 are. So we need a C scale. So C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. All the white notes on the piano. So we need the root note, obviously, because we need the C. We need the third of the scale, E. And we need the fifth of the scale, G. And we need the 7th of the major scale. So our notes are C, E, G and B. Those notes in any order will create a C major 7 chord. So, starting on the E string, on the bottom E string, we're going to create a C major 7. There's my note C on the 8th fret of the E string. So I have to look for all the other notes. So amongst this lot, I need to find a B, an E and a G. So there's C, there's a B on the 9th fret of the D string, there's an E right next to it on the 9th fret of the G string, and there's a G on the 8th fret of the B string. And we create that chord like that. So the first finger's playing C on the E string, the second finger's playing the G on the B string, and the third finger is playing the B on the D string, and the fourth finger is playing the E on the G string. Very nice chord. And my next chord is built on the A string. So we have to know where C is on the A string. There it is on the 3rd fret. Again, I just need to find, excuse me, I need to find the other 3 notes. So I need to find an E, I need to find a G, and I need to find a B. So again, if you know your fretboard, it shouldn't be hard to find these notes anywhere. The C and G is located on the 5th fret of the D string, B is on the 4th fret of the G string, and E is on the 5th fret of the B string. So first finger playing C, third finger playing G, second finger playing B, little finger playing E. There it is. And moving on to the D string. We need to know where C is. There's C on the 10th fret of the D string. Now we're up here, we need to find, on the other strings, we need to find a G, a B and an E. So, there's C, there's G on the 12th fret of the G string, obviously, and there's B on the 12th fret of the B string, obviously, and there's E on the 12th fret of the E string on the octaves. So, the note would look like that. The first finger holding down C, and the third finger barring the 12th fret on the top 3 strings. Again, a very nice chord. And now onto the G string. We need to find C again. So C is on the 5th fret. And you realise, when we get here, even though we need another 3 notes, we've only got another 2 strings above, so 1 note must be below. And generally, this is going to be the 5th. Not always, but it's the easiest one to find. So in this case, there's C on the 5th fret of the G string, G is on the 5th fret of the D string just below it. We need an E on the 5th fret of the B string, and we need a B on the 7th fret of the E string. And it's a very simple chord. There it is, and it sounds quite nice. So I'm barring the 5th fret from the D string upwards, and then with the 3rd finger I'm holding down the B on the 7th fret, the major 7th. This is a second inversion chord because the G is at the root of the chord, but actually it's still a C major 7 voicing. But basically it would be C major 7, G in the bass. but you can just approach it as a C major 7, it's all the same. And moving on to the B string, we need to find a C. Quite easy to find, there it is, up on the 1st fret. Again, this is one of the more trickier chords to just throw your hands at, but not tricky to find the notes. So we've got C, we realise we've only got one string above, so 2 notes are going to be below the root in this case. So we're going to put the C, E is on the 2nd fret of the D string, G is up on the 3rd fret of the E string, and I need a B which is on the 4th fret of the G string, and you can see why I find it quite difficult to voice that chord in the middle of a tune. But there are times where it'll be invaluable. So, first finger holding down C on the B string, 2nd finger holding down the E on the D string, 3rd finger holding down the G on the E string, and little finger holding down the B on the G string. This is a 1st inversion chord because it's got the 3rd at the root this time, and it is a really nice voicing as well. And for the last chord, we're back on the E string. So there's C, as we know, because if it's on the 8th fret of the bottom E string, it must be on the 8th fret of the top E string. So, as we know, every single note must be below the root this time. So there's C, we need a G, right next to it, we need an E on the 9th fret of the G string, and we need a B on the 9th fret of the D string. So it's a little bar of the first 2 notes on the E and the B, and then holding down the B and the E on the next 2 strings on the 9th fret. And this is a 3rd inversion chord because this time it has the 7th at the root. Okay, so we call it a 3rd inversion, but either way they're just major 7th chords to you, unless you see it specifically in a chart where it says C major 7 with an extension of slash chord with a B in the bass, or G in the bass, or E in the bass. You can just use any chord you like. And even then, if you've got a bass player playing with you, he's going to play that note anyway, so you don't need to worry about it, so any voicing will do. But if you're playing solo, it's often helpful to put the right note in the bass part. So, it's as simple as that. All those chords that we just learned are completely movable. I play them all off the 3rd fret of the E string. There's our first chord, is now G major 7. 2nd chord is now C major 7. 3rd chord is now F major 7. 4th chord is now B flat major 7. The 5th chord is now D major 7, and our 6th chord is back to being G major 7. Now you know 6 major 7th chords, and use them, but use them sparingly. Bring them in one at a time into your playing technique and into your repertoire, and you'll get the most out of them. Okay? Hope that helps.